Hello and welcome back. Today I have for you my quick, easy glam makeup. This is the makeup that I will throw on when I have to dress up and I don't have a lot of time to get ready. So this makeup will take me maximum half an hour. It is not fussy. It's kind of throw on and go kind of thing, but it makes you look really put together and really glam. Well, glam enough for me anyway, and we're just gonna get right into it because I genuinely have about half an hour to get ready today. So I'm getting ready to go out with my fiance and his sister and her boyfriend, and we're gonna go out and have some drinks and afternoon tea and stuff, which will be really nice, but I need to get ready quickly. So really what makes this quick is not so much the products that you use, but the techniques that you use. So you'll see there are things that I do where I'm just working really quickly, and also I would say if you're not that quick at makeup, practice definitely makes perfect. So I know how to get the kind of look that I'm after, which is kind of like my natural skin but more elevated. I know how to get that look really quickly now because I've been doing it for so long. So I definitely think if you're struggling to like get the look that you want in a short amount of time, just practice, practice, practice. Hopefully these techniques will help you, and of course you can also use the same products as me, but you don't need to worry so much about the products than the techniques. So I've put all my skincare on and my SPF, and I'm gonna go in first with the Hourglass Vanish foundation stick. I am in the shade Porcelain. This is a little bit light for me, so I'm gonna mix it today with a little bit of the Urban Decay Hydromaniac Tinted Moisturizer. I'm gonna squeeze just a tiny little bit of this just to warm up the foundation slightly directly onto this large stippling brush. This is the Zoeva 124, and I always use this to apply my base makeup, and I'm just gonna blend that into the skin. So this foundation will be very dewy, but when you first blend it in, I find that it's pretty dry and you have to give it a couple of minutes just to settle on your skin, and then it will kind of mix with the oils and stuff. I think they say on their website that it sort of adapts to the heat of your face and kind of mimics your skin texture or something like that. But I really, really love the finish of this, especially for a full coverage, like evening glam look. And I don't add a lot of foundation because I find the more product I add, the less natural my skin looks. Especially today, we're going out during the daytime, so I want it to look really natural. For concealer, I'm just gonna use my Uoma Stay Woke Concealer. I'm in the shade White Pearl T1. I love this concealer. It's such a fail-safe, foolproof formula. Again, it kind of just blends in with the texture of my skin really nicely, and it looks nice and hydrated under there, but still adds a lot of coverage. So I'm mainly concentrating this under my eyes because I feel like I have enough coverage on my face, but of course, if you want to add concealer around your face, then you can do. I'm just going to add a little bit to these blemishes here. And then I'm just gonna take this kind of powder setting brush from Real Techniques. It's a really old brush. I don't even know if they still make this brush. I think I'm gonna go in with blush. So sometimes I will use a contour stick, but this blush is actually quite a deep blush. So I'm gonna go in with the cream blush from Ilia in the shade Dreamer. And I'm kind of going to, so what I like to do when I'm wearing like glam makeup is I do like to go in with a cream and then set it with a powder on top. So I am going to go in with powder blush on top. And because this is a deeper blush shade, today I'm not going to use a contour. And I'm just going to kind of blend this all over the cheeks. I'm using exactly the same brush. And I'm just kind of blend it down a bit further than I would normally do blush, just so it kind of mimics a little bit that contour effect, but I'm not contouring, like, don't get it confused. Like, I'm not saying I'm contouring with this blush. I'm just using it in a way that kind of makes my face look a tiny bit sculpted. But I am going to go in with bronzer as well. So because I do want some of the glow to still shine through on my face today, I'm going to take this small brush for powder, and I'm going to use the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in the shade Fair from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm just going to concentrate that mainly under my eyes, but then also set around my nose and on my chin, and probably a bit on my forehead, but I'm gonna mainly keep my cheek area free. Another tip, if you do have like more oily skin than me, is to go in with like an Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray at the end, and then that will make sure that your makeup stays on all day. But I find, for me, I don't really tend to need that. And then I'm gonna go in with the Milani bronzer in the shade Sunlight. This is their Silky Matte Bronzer. I really, really love this bronzer. And this is going to act as both contour and bronzer. It's not gonna give you a really sculpted look, but again, it's gonna give you that kind of elevated, natural look, which is my signature. So if you wanted this to look more sculpted, you could go in with a different brush, like a more dense brush, but for me, I just love the way that this bronzer applies with this brush. And then now that we've gone in with that powder, the blush is not showing up as much. So like I said, I am gonna go in and set my cream blush with a powder blush. This is what I like to do when I'm dressing up more, and it lasts a bit longer on the skin as well. So I'm going in with the Melt powder blush in the shade Honeythief. I really love this for an evening look in the autumn and winter. I go back to it season after season. It's a very autumn winter blush for me. I don't know why, because it's quite peachy, but on me it just has that kind of very, it looks a bit deeper than a lot of peachy blushes do on me. So I'm gonna go in with a lighter hand because it's quite pigmented. Bringing it up into the forehead where I put my bronzer a little bit as well. And then I normally put too much blush on, so I just do this until I get it to a way that I like it. Okay, I've just zoomed you in slightly because I'm gonna do eyes next. Now, when I wanna keep it really simple, I mean, I always pretty much wear cream eyeshadow, and that is what I'm going to be wearing today. But I want a little bit more definition just because we are, you know, dressing up a bit. So to do that, I'm gonna take some of my bronzer and I'm just gonna go in the crease with this, just to add a little bit of definition. And this is a really good trick to just tie your whole look together as well. Okay, then I'm gonna use my trusty Kosas Globe 10-second eyeshadow. This is so good, especially if you're my skin tone or a redhead like me. You will love this. It's this gorgeous, like bronzy, very, very shimmery eyeshadow. And the reason that I love this is because it will look like you have spent an hour just on your eyeshadow alone, but it takes 10 seconds. So you want to work with this quickly because it does dry, but I just like to pat it with my finger and I go over and over and blend and blend and blend. And then I probably will put a little bit more on to up that shine in the center of the lid. But the more you blend this, the more kind of natural and wet looking it's gonna look. I'm just gonna take that blending brush and just go over the edges very, 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 very lightly. And then I'm gonna just amp up that glitter right in the center of the lid and very lightly tap over it this time, so I'm not taking away too much of that shine. And that is my eyeshadow look pretty much done. so quick. I love it so much. And okay, I am gonna take the same brush and I'm just gonna run a little bit of my bronzer under my lash line, my bottom lash line, and then I'm going to take my Beauty Bay crayon eyeliner in the shade Coffee, and I'm just going to smudge out a little bit on my top lash line, just again to give a tiny bit of definition. But I don't put much product like on this half of my eye, I just kind of drag it with the brush. I'm going to curl my lashes and then do mascara. I'm using the e.l.f. Keep Your Curl mascara. Okay, I lied. I'm gonna do brows first. I'm gonna use the Glossier Boy Brow in the shade Blonde. And now I'm gonna go in with mascara. You'll notice as well that I didn't put any eyeliner on my bottom lash line. I just used that bronzer because I do find that if I take my eyeliner down, it can make my eyes just look quite muddy and messy quite quickly. So it's easier for me to skip that part and just use eyeshadow. Again, it's not going to give you as intense a look, but that's okay because that's kind of what I'm going for. So then for lips, I'm going to first take my Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in the shade Pillow Talk, and then I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury JK Magic lipstick. This is one of my all-time favorite nude lipsticks. And then I probably will add either a little bit of the Revolution Light Beam Shimmer Bomb gloss or the Beauty Bay Ballet. This is just a really light, creamy nude gloss, and this one has a shimmer through it, so I'm just gonna see what I'm feeling like. To be honest, I kind of like it just like that. No, I think I do want to add a bit of gloss. I'm gonna stick on the nude theme, and I'm gonna use some of the Beauty Bay gloss. Oh, one thing I forgot is to add highlighter. Again, you don't really need to add highlighter if you don't want to, but I always like to add a little bit of glow, and I really like to add a cream highlighter. So I'm gonna use some of my RMS Living Luminizer, and I'm just gonna tap that on my apples of my cheeks and up into my forehead, temples, and a bit on my nose. Cupid's bow and chin. And that is that. That is the finished makeup look. Again, like I said, you can finish off with a spray if you want your skin to look more dewy. I love the Pixie Glow Mist. If you want to set everything down, you can go in with the Urban Decay All Nighter, and that will make sure that your makeup stays for a long time as well. But I'm just gonna leave it there. Yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you learned anything useful, or if you've been trying any new techniques recently that you've been loving. I would love to hear them. I'm all about the quick makeup life. I just don't have time to be sitting in front of a mirror and blending my eyeshadow for an hour, like I said. So I really, really love this kind of look because you get that same vibe, but it takes you half the amount of time. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. I hope that you are keeping well and taking care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.